What's happening, Andy? Here I am joined today by Bob Madaio of Sharp. How are you, Bob?
I am great, Andy. How are you?
I am awesome. What's happening down in Montvale, New Jersey? How's everything down there? How's your summer going? Got a bunch of stuff to cover with you. Why don't we start with that? How's Montvale?
Montvale's great. As you can see in the office, a summer Monday. We are mostly back now. Mondays are a little quieter than some of the other days, but everyone's working and, it's been a crazy summer, even given all the vacations and everything else. Lots of business, lots going on.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. You guys have been very busy this summer, and even leading into that, I know I've seen you guys at a lot of the events, and you're out and about. You and Mike and John, and I've been running into people everywhere. We actually had a couple of interviews with a few of your people. You've had some really nice news regarding a lot of your employees lately and your company, right? So why don't we just go right down the list? Nayron, Erica, Moonsun, all these young ladies were recognized in their own way. Why don't you tell us about those three pieces, and then we'll move on to the other part of that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And we're lucky. And I know, like you said, we've been out everywhere, and I have a sense you're going to push me on some travel that's coming up maybe a little further on. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, look, I'm lucky. You had both Erica and Nayron on, and they're on my marketing team, and I'm so lucky to have a team that has folks like that. They both won Women of the Channel. Moonsun Park just recognized, and she was on the cover with those other great industry women at Canada. So awesome to see that. So well deserved. We're lucky there. And Sharp just got best places to work list again for New Jersey large company. So we're super excited. And hey, we can use some people. I know the marketing team's got some openings. We're probably going to put up a couple more openings soon. So anyone listening, if you need a great place to work, at least NJ Biz thinks we're one. So can't wait to talk to you.
Well, you're growing. You're filling a lot of spots. You alluded to this. I should have started out with this, but make sure you watch this video to the end. We're gonna drop some pretty big news about you guys. The first place that I've seen it anyway, so we'll just leave it at that. But
we need some music there, like dun dun dun.
Yeah, maybe we edit that in at the end. Maybe we get Jake on that and see if he can edit some music in. But yeah, you guys, you did just win that award again, second year in a row for New Jersey Best Place to Work. I don't know if that's really you or the fact that you're right across the street from Wegmans, my hometown grocery store. I worked there. Actually went to high school with the family that runs that, so I know that's right across the street from you. Just
I live right here in Montvale, and the kids, it's one of the best places for the high school kids to work. They love it. I think it's got a little to do with Sharp, but having Wegmans across the street doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt, but that's a great reason. And for those of you guys who don't know what Wegmans is, you will. It's an outstanding grocery store. But moving back to everything going on at Sharp, right? So a lot of shows, a lot of things going on. What are you guys doing right now as far as I know you mentioned you've got some possible road shows coming up later this year. What are you guys doing to keep your message in front of everybody?
Yeah, no, good way to say it, to keep the message in front of someone, because I think look, it's been a crazy summer, it's been a crazy spring. The market, the supply chain has been all over the place. Luckily, I think as the market goes, we've done quite well. We're super happy and thankful to our dealers for really sticking with us and driving the business. I think communication with the dealers is absolutely critical. I think it's one of the things we've done really well. Mike speaks to all of our principals monthly with a newsletter, and he does things around supply chain. We try to get all of our team on here with you. You've got such a big audience. We want to make sure that everyone can see and hear our latest thinking just like this. And even in the beginning of the summer, we sort of warned everyone like, hey, it's going to get a little rocky. And luckily, we were not quite as bad as we thought. It doesn't mean we're perfect, right? But doing everything we can think of to keep supply flowing, keep business going. And yeah, going out to BTA events, going out, meeting dealers, doing the roadshow type things, doing dealer council meetings, anything we can do to stay in front of folks. And we are looking to do a few road shows, as many as we can kind of muster right now in the fall. So we don't have dates exactly on those yet. We'll talk about some events maybe, but we'll definitely come here or have someone, maybe John Sheehan's up for a call with you pretty soon once we have some dates to talk about that. So I'll drag him on maybe.
That would be great. Of course, the big one we all want to know about is the big dealer meeting. But we will talk about that towards maybe a little later, perhaps.
Yeah, I think we got a few things to cover there. We can talk.
I do want to get into that, but first I wanted to stay on that topic. You guys arguably you did one of the better jobs out there, and I'm being kind, but I don't like to take sides or tell you guys did a great job, right? As far as your inventory, managing that and keeping your dealers as maybe as happy as you were able to, right? It was, I don't know if it was just, sharp and the Foxconn thing, if it was just incredible planning on your part, but whatever it was, your dealers seemed to feel the pain a little bit less than maybe some of the other dealers. But beyond that, Sharp is one of that small handful of companies that's not all in on just print, right? You guys have the smart boards, you have laptops, right? You have all sorts of other things, smart office that you were moving into, and displays are such a huge part of interactive displays, such a huge part of what you do. I want to talk about the diversification, and what have you seen over the last couple of years? What have you seen from your dealers? Have they picked up the torch? Is it just sort of the same dealers doing the same thing? I know with this pandemic and the desperation, I think, to find other product to sell, how has your situation, I think, put you in the position that you're in right now, where you really seem to be gaining market share? You seem to be on the upswing. People are talking positively about it. What do you think it is about the diversification?
No, well, first, thank you for saying that. And let me hit one brief second on the supply and how we've done really well, and then get into diversification, because I think, look, everyone's got their challenges. And I know there are some dealers who've struggled from time to time to get exactly what they want from us. And we don't want to pretend to be perfect. But I think if you really look at it, what we tried to do was be as nimble as we could. If we see a product, we can change quickly, do it to keep the supply flowing. We listen to dealers and communicate. That's all we can do on that side. And then we do have, I don't know if I want to call it an unfair advantage, but the Foxconn relationship gives us a little future insight. We can see things quick, and we have some negotiating power, whether it's chips or ships or whatever else it is. So if I take that Foxconn angle, really, that's what's allowed us to lean into Dynabook laptops and buying that off Toshiba, merging and having an acquisition of the display business of NEC to broaden that portfolio. So I think dealers are seeing us, they're getting more comfortable that how serious we are in those businesses. So they're beginning to get more serious about it themselves. We've always had that relationship with now TD SYNNEX, so they have better access through working with us. I think one of the things we're trying to make sure everyone realizes is that whether you're selling Sharp displays or Dynabook, it's all part of the same program. It builds up your rebates, it builds up your revenue, that makes you hit a certain level. We're trying to make it easier for folks to diversify, and we try to do programs. So when we do sales rep programs, a lot of them are about also driving diversification to help get the sales reps' attention on that as well. So to your question, some of it is the dealers who know it, love it, they're doing really well, and we are seeing some new dealers get into the space. There's some creative partnerships out there that are going on. How do you partner in an area for content around displays? I always point to my own Aquas board as if you can see it on a camera. It happens in every meeting. So we are seeing some of that to get a recurring revenue stream. We're seeing unique things around packaging service with displays. And then we see laptops often as kind of a horrible throwaway phrase, but the tip of the spear that can have an IT services conversation. So for dealers looking to manage endpoints, manage networks, the laptop is a great way to have it. Hey, you can buy this, but what if it's protected? I can load up an image for you. Then that starts a higher value conversation. Not everybody, but we're seeing growth. We're seeing more every month pick it up.
So the laptop thing was really interesting to me, because I think you showed it at the last conference, and then I think the one before that was really the first time it appeared. And it was, I don't even know if you had fully bought them yet at the first time I saw them, or maybe you just bought them, but it just sort of perked up and you were getting a little interest. And then suddenly the next time it showed up, there was a program around it and a little more interest. And, I just wonder, with this move into services, with this move into managed IT, having this access to this hardware that fits into your portfolio, that gives you the credits, I imagine that's got to carry a tremendous advantage. And these guys can still sell the HPs, they can still sell the Dells or whatever else the customers want, right? But, we've all learned that selling your own brand and putting your company's brand on top of it is what really matters out there. And people, unless it's like a Mac in computers, people don't really care that if it's a Windows computer, it's a Windows computer, it's business. Right. If I can get them, first of all, that's got to be a part of that. How that's maybe a good question right there. Maybe I shouldn't answer this live, but during the interview. But how has inventory been for Dynabook? It's a different area. I don't cover it. How have you done with that?
I'd say in general, it's been better than most of the competitors. Again, they've got some of that same family advantage that they get to take advantage of. There are specific models. I know some of the touchscreen models have been hard to find maybe, but in general, we've had machines. We have them now. And the built to order process actually is still working pretty well. It doesn't take that long to get specialized machines. So, like with the print side, there are spaces where you get trouble, but we know, Dell, I think, and some other manufacturers, I can't speak for where they are today. They might be perfect, but they've had weeks where they couldn't get things for a long time. And that's, I think, why dealers gave us a shot. And look, I'm on my Dynabook right now. Toshiba made laptops for decades. They know what they're doing. These are good machines. So it's worked out really well. And again, whether it's IT services or some software, it just helps both get new conversations started. And by the way, it helps protect you from other people coming in. I think that's the thing dealers are realizing.
Sticky.
Because today it's a laptop, but that IT services provider, maybe they offer print someday in the future. If you can go in and wrap all the technology up for a customer, not only are you more of a trusted partner for them, you just less doors open for others to walk in and kind of steal your conversation.
And it's harder to shop. Let's face it. It's not like a customer can just go online and start pulling down pricing for Dynabooks, right? It's a protected channel. It's going to come from you guys, and it's going to come from the dealer and the rep, and it's just not something that's easily shoppable. And we all know that when you start comparing these things, a lot of times the customer thinks they're comparing apples to apples, and it's apples to oranges, and you're comparing a model that's not nearly as robust, and so they buy the cheap thing. They hate it, they hate the brand, then they hate you for no reason. So this allows it, a dealer to kind of keep it all in the family, right? Again, back to those rebates, it's nice to have them piling up under one brand instead of spreading it out. I have to imagine it's been very helpful for the dealers that have gotten into the Dynabooks. I know a few of them. They do like selling them, and they work, right? So what else do you want?
So no, we agree. Look, we're trying to find ways to make it easier. It can be a little intimidating first time until you've sold a few, understanding models and memory and the configurations, but we're coming out with new tools to make that easier. We've got field folks, and we can bring Dyna folks in to help with big deals and things. So, we're trying to make it work, and it's starting to work. There's a need, right? The next, goodness knows, we hope there's nothing like the pandemic, but something else disrupts the business. Isn't it great to have another conversation in your bag, right?
Yeah.
If you're only showing up when the lease is up on the copier, there's just a lot of missed opportunity.
Yeah. And by the way, it all fits right into that recurring revenue, right? All of these come either folded into a lease or folded into a package, or on a per copy charge, a per person charge, depending on how you're positioning this. But all of this really fits right into exactly, how our industry has made their money, how these dealers and resellers have made their money for years, which is, you need recurring revenue. You need something that you're going to get paid on every month. It's what got this industry through the pandemic. It's why most of the dealers that started during this pandemic, unless they got acquired, most of them are still here. You didn't hear very many of them closing their doors.
No, the resilience has been tremendous.
It's been amazing.
And you've probably heard us. We keep talking about opportunity. For Sharp, that's a couple of things, right? We have a lot of opportunity to keep taking share, we think, and the opportunity to introduce all these new revenue streams. And it's probably what we'll focus on in big meetings we're going to have.
So speaking of big meetings, Bob Madaio.
Yes, sir.
By the way, very nice hat you have sitting off to your side there. I love the old school model. I haven't used that logo in a while. I got too much
product in today. I didn't put it on. It's good to protect the bald spot that keeps spreading, but
Yeah, I'm protecting the heck out of mine right now.
Maybe if we have a real big meeting, we could team up on like a Sharp special edition hat.
I think that would be a phenomenal idea. I think that would be great. We get some custom ones made. We get them with the Sharp logo on it. When do you think might be a good time for us to roll something like that out? Where and when do you think that might be?
Well, we are in the process of getting an email out to people like yourself, but I hate to say it, but primarily concerned with our dealer principals and our dealers out there, talking about the week of April 17th. I know you're not going to necessarily love that you're going to punch your ticket back to Las Vegas, but you know what happened? We had this, I think, awesome Own It dealer meeting in 2019, huge energy, great momentum. The pandemic tried to put the brakes on for us, but we powered through. We want to go back, capture that energy once again, and have it propel us now post-pandemic. So back to the win. We're looking for a great event. Lots of planning still to do, but if everyone can mark the calendars for that week in April, we're expecting to have a really good time. And more importantly, look at that opportunity that's in front of us and figure out what is all the information dealers have been doing to share, how do we execute on that opportunity? That's our focus, and we are super excited for April. I know you might have wanted to hear another venue, but the Wynn hopefully makes up for Vegas. It's a good place to be.
So if I have to go to Vegas, I think the Wynn is probably my favorite place to go as far as these meetings go. It's nice, it's a really nice hotel. It's the center of Vegas. Just everything about it is over the top. So if I have to go to Vegas,
some of our meeting spaces, they're going to be brand new. So they've done some work over there through the pandemic. So I think we'll keep it up to your standards.
Your last one at the Wynn was awesome. So I'm not going to complain about the Wynn. Vegas may not be my favorite city, but the hotel is fantastic. I look forward to seeing you there. I'll be there. Jake will be there. The Slowetskis will be in the house, and we can't wait. You guys do an amazing show, one of the best ones. So, and it's going to be a great venue. So April 17th that week.
Yes,
maybe we'll come out. We'll get a little golf in. I know, I know Mr. Marusik was actually just golfing last week at the UTEC with the boys from UTEC up in Detroit. The the Rocket Mortgage Classic or something like that. I was supposed to caddy with him. Jenna Stramalio had to step in. I couldn't make it, and she stepped in and did much better job than I probably would have. But I saw some great pictures of Mike out there. So this is going to be great. The Wynn will be awesome. I look forward to seeing all you guys out there, and hopefully before then at some of these fall events. BTA's got one. I know you'll be there. You mentioned road shows you're going to do.
In fact, BTA is going to beat us to Vegas, I think, first, and then they have their fall out in North Carolina. But
they do. They have two coming up before then. So a lot more shows that we'll be seeing you guys at. I know you'll be at some of the association shows as well. So
absolutely,
Bob, this was great. I really appreciate you coming on, talking to us about what's happening at Sharp, and celebrating some of those successes with some of your employees. By the way, remember everybody, they are hiring, they are bringing more people into their marketing departments. So
you got it.
Sharp is a place on the move, and we can see why, right? The products are here, you have them, they're diverse, you have plenty to sell, plenty of variety. Your dealers seem very happy, the ones I'm talking to, and you've got a great show coming up. I don't know anyone else who has a show coming up right now, not at that magnitude at any time between now and then. So I can't wait. I can't wait.
Oh, please pencil it in, everybody. And to our dealers out here, thank you so much. Look, we hope to see you out at the dealer meeting. We hope to see you before then. Like I said, we don't have all the dates nailed down, but hopefully some road shows at a city near you. So that'll be fun. And for all the reps who might be listening, again, I know there's a big audience out here. Expect some cool promos in the fall. I know we've been trying to figure out trips, and supply and everything else made that difficult, but stay tuned. We got some really cool stuff coming to keep you going until we get together in April. So really excited. And Andy, thank you as always. Love the forum and appreciate everything you do.
Bob, thanks for coming on the show. You guys are some of the best, and obviously we greatly appreciate the relationship and your willingness to just come on and chat with us and fill us in. Let us know what you guys are all up to and what's happening out there, and we'll catch up soon, and we'll talk to you down the road. Thanks, Bob.
Love it. All right, thanks, Andy.